This collective is currently going within and doing something transformative. Very interesting start here. I noticed that we're trying to, balance something out. There's some balancing. There's 3 major arcana cards happening here, so some big life changes. And specifically around friendship. I found this very interesting because in the charms, in the astrological dice and all of that, it says that this is in the realm of wealth and possessions in Sagittarius. So this would be like traveling, money, expansion, studying, higher education, learning, that type of thing. And we had this message about an intuitive nudge about who you need to be protecting yourself from. There's a calming down around our possessions and our wealth. But there's also this need for protection and boundary setting. And I also got a transmutation energy and transmuting negative to positive, as well as this I consider this to be very similar to the Hermit. So this spotlight, shining light on something hidden in the dark. And I really had this feeling of something's messing with your money, your expansion, your growth. There's something being messed with in your wealth and possessions that has to do with a friend, and you already know who it is, or you will very soon. You're also going through a period of letting go of codependency, self-sabotage, this type of thing. I found this so interesting because there's a balancing here, and I saw the Lovers and the Page of Cups, and usually that's love, romance, crushes, but in the realm of wealth and possessions, it's working with partners, working with friends, people you have close to you that aren't really doing what they're supposed to be doing. There's some form of we're getting away from something. I see the 2 of Cups and the 3 of Wands here as well. So it's like ships coming in, things that we wanted to happen coming in regarding a partnership. And this unconventional new idea in the realm of wealth, right? With the Hierophant being reversed and the Ace of Pentacles being upright. This is breaking traditions. So it's there's some form of we're leaving something behind, going within, making some changes, and balancing things out around people we surround ourselves with that aren't as toxic, that don't cause as many self-sabotaging behaviors, that we're not codependent on. And that will bring forth better partnerships, better energies that may feel strange at first, but they will work out. I also found this interesting because it says why you need to hear this at this time, right? That's usually what I do next. Why you need to hear this at this time is because we feel like we have no control over our own emotional happiness, over our own emotional fulfillment. There seems to be a lot of conflict here regarding the lover situation. So our own inner feminine and masculine sides around the people we surround ourselves with, around our environment, that seems to be perpetuating this. You could also have some father wounds, something of this nature. We could have also just previously let go of a spouse or a partner that was tyrannical. Someone here could have left a DV situation. Doesn't have to be, that's for somebody, but there's a conflict here that wasn't serving you. And I see here we're leaving behind the Page of Cups. So leaving behind friendships, lovers. For some reason, this specific collective has a issue with people taking their money and their possessions. Yeah. And I see here with the double reversed is strength. So this requires a lot of strength. And this strength is all about quieting our inner primal side, our inner little shadow self. It's learning how to close the mouth of the lion or wrestle the crocodile, so to speak. Definitely that. So while we're working on this, there will be yeah, we feel like we're really wrestling with it. Like there's some form of conflict we're trying to leave behind regarding this. And this Two of Cups and Three of Wands, the Hierophant came up. So like this is divinely guided. This whole process is very much being brought to you. It's an intuitive nudge. It's coming in from your higher self, from source, from whatever you believe in. It's definitely coming in from that. But we do feel like this unconventional, it's funny to see the Hierophant like in the same scope, right? It feels like this unconventional idea we're trying to pursue isn't working out. It feels like there's stagnation here, and that's why we need to hear it. There's some form of stagnation. And I see what you need to do about it is we don't need to be celebrating with whoever these rank friends or lovers or family members are, because they're not clapping for you. Okay? I see the Nine of Wands here in reverse though, which talks about like not being so guarded, which is strange because we shouldn't be telling our business to whoever this is. Okay, I see. So don't tell your business to whoever this is, right? But not to make that close your heart off towards other people. I see the Queen of Cups here sideways as well. So going back and forth, we need to we need to decide when we're giving enough to ourselves, to other people, when we're being kind, when we're like really showing up and being that empathetic, kind individual, and when we're overgiving. Okay, when we're overgiving and getting taken advantage of. That's kind of where we need to be at. Okay, lowering our guard around this, because it seems like perhaps we've really persevered through a lot of times where we've given too much of our wealth and possessions, growth, expansion, whatever it is, it's in that house. Okay. We've given a lot in that realm to other people, and that has bitten us. So now we may be closed off towards new things. They don't want you to do that. Yeah. This Justice being reversed here too, around strength, and the Devil reversed, tells me that there's an imbalance here that needs to be addressed. Justice is usually about things being, justified, getting justice, karma, balance, right? Justice, like we feel like things have been unfair. There's an imbalance here though that we're currently working on. So they want you to keep working on that. Specifically around this nightmare, around this Two of Cups, Three of Wands, Hierophant situation. Okay? We have a lot of nightmares around working with other people, around letting people into our lives, them fulfilling their promises, and for things to just go right. For things to just make sense. A lot of anxiety here. That's what we need to be addressing. Things not being fair. We also need to make sure that we're not drowning in our emotions, because that can lead us to feeling resentful, overgiving, letting people in we don't need to be letting in. Yeah, and holding on to people who aren't really for us, simply for the sake of having people around us, if that makes sense. So, that's what is currently going on and all of that. Let me get into the Oracle Advice cards. I was feeling this specific deck for this collective, so I'll pop into that. As always, all synchronicities and channeled songs will be in the description down below or in the captions. You can check those out and see if anything resonates with you. Totally go for it. Absolutely fine. I did see that someone here could be a Virgo. The color red is very prominent to someone. Someone could have just watched A Knight's Tale. Someone could be having headaches at this time, and somebody could have a Greyhound dog, or they could have recently ridden a Greyhound bus. Another prominent thing, this is not all of the synchronicities, the rest will be listed down below, but these are standing out. Another prominent thing is the number 2332. As well as the number, who's standing out the most? 0707 and 1441. So, It is my intention that if you see my face here or anywhere else on the internet, that your burdens will be lifted and you will leave here feeling lighter. I am the campfire that you rest at before you go face the final boss, which is in most cases yourself. Spirit, let's soothe their anxieties and ease their fears, bring them some clarity so that they can walk forward along their path easier towards their highest good. So, Spirits of the Divine Order of the Highest Good, what is the advice for this collective regarding this situation? What is your advice? What is your advice, please? And thank you. Thank you. We have the Eternal Bloom with the number 17. 17 in tarot relates to the Star card. So yeah, this is a time to utilize your wisdom. So the things that you've been through, right? Utilize your wisdom to help guide you, to help you spot things, to help you spot when patterns are emerging, when you're noticing behaviors that led to a particularly nasty income. They want for you to utilize that wisdom and that experience, not just see everything as a threat, but to actually use the lessons from before to help guide you at this time. Thank you. We have the Root of Creation, number 33. 33 is relevant. 333 is relevant. Someone here could work with Archangel Michael. But yes, this is reversed. Currently, we are very much in the Nine of Swords. We're very much in our head. We are currently, you might be future tripping. And that just entails like, oh, things will always be this way. Yeah, no matter what, people will always hurt me. That is kind of catastrophizing, that type of thing, living in our head, going to the past, reliving things. We're utilizing our mind in order to continue to relive that pain. And that's kind of giving us that, when we get stuck in those things, when we repeat the same cycles with a new face, that's because we continue to live there. So more of it comes into our reality. So to be aware of that, be very much aware of that. So utilize your knowledge in order to avoid this, okay? The Warden of Shadows. Yeah, some shadow work. So pay attention to that, because that's your shadow side. It's the part of you that's trying to protect you, but it can be harmful if done in excess, okay? So just be aware of this. 2 more on what advice you have for the collective. Thank you. We have the Abyssal Architect. So more of the same, right? You're creating from your shadow side at this time, okay? We're creating from that. We feel like we've been dealt an unfair card, so we're living here and we're reliving it, and we're causing ourselves to build more of the same. We're manifesting more of the same by doing so. This is not to say you have to do toxic positivity and you can't have any emotions. It's just letting you know that when you create from the shadow side, you create more pain and suffering, okay? So to just be aware of this. Last one on advice for my collective here regarding the situation. Thank you. The Bleeding Roots. This stems from childhood. The red roots. This stems from childhood. This could be a pattern that you've been dealing with your whole life. There's some form of wound here we need to address. Again, I mentioned father wounds that could be important for somebody. But that red represents the root chakra, which is where you come from, family, child-like experiences as a child. So that's something to keep in mind, right? This could be a pattern that's repeated throughout yourself and your your ancestral line. So like you could come from a family that has had this happen over and over and over again, and that's something to pay attention to, right? We have here the Eternal Serpent for 14 showing up. 14 is the Sagittarius card, Temperance, that balancing. Balancing needs to happen, okay? We need to have some balance here. I've seen many, many different cards that represent balance. The Lovers, the Justice, Temperance. We're the Eternal Serpent, right? there needs to be some balance here. It's like, I don't get to have these things. I can't, like, my family's always gone through this. I don't really feel confident. But you descended from a family of dragons, right? There needs to be some balance here. You're a powerful creator. The guardian flame, yeah. You came from a powerful, like, we don't feel like we're this at all. We feel like we deserve this type of thing. We feel like it'll always be this way. No, you came from this. You are already protected. Spirit's protecting you. They're helping you. They're giving you the nudges. They want for you to heed the messages, okay? Yeah, someone here could be 35 or 29. Those numbers stand out to me. But that's just remembering that you are the one creating your reality. You are the one that needs to pay attention. Pay attention. Your gut will tell you. Your mind will tell you. Your intuition will tell you. They don't want for you to see everything as a threat, hiding, looking from afar. No, they want for you to go out and do what you do because you're kind, you're empathetic, you're wonderful. But you just need to utilize your past knowledge on what to look for in order to help you out, so you don't just fall into the same stuff over and over again because you're not paying attention. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that it was helpful. If you're interested in a personal reading, for those at the link in my bio, if you're interested in other things like what does this week have in store for me, that type of thing, I offer those at my Patreon. Same link in the bio. Please feel free to check it out and see if I vibe with you. If you're watching this from the YouTube when I post it later, that link will be in the description box down below. And yeah, only check it out if you feel called. Thank you so much for your time and your energy, for allowing me to be your reader. I really, really appreciate it. If I do not vibe with you and this is the last time I see you, thank you for being here. And I wish you so much love, luck, joy, happiness, peace, prosperity, health, wealth, abundance, and healing along your journey. Please remember that life is an ever-crooked path and you are never off of it, okay? And if you have chosen to follow me and you do like my vibe, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!